Reading for your new read assessment, pages 63 through 68. August 8th, Wednesday. I have told how grandly we ate at the feast, but in a few ways this banquet was like ordinary fare. As usual, of course, we ate with knife, spoon, and fingers, and heaped our food upon trenchers of hard, stale, cheap bread, cut into thick slices. Drink, too, was much the same, but instead of the weak penny ale that is all we pages are normally allowed, the cupbearers poured us 2 penny ale, which tasted far stronger. As it grew later, the ale loosened everyone's tongues, and Humphrey and Oliver began to make rude fun of me. When I sat with my legs apart, Oliver did point to where they joined beneath my thin hose. With much glee he chanted, "Let not thy privy members be laid open to be viewed. 'Tis most shameful and abhorred, detestable and rude." The tale of this rhyme I scarcely heard, for just then the minstrels blew a fanfare. But they and the tumblers had been entertaining us all most skilfully, though some of the minstrel songs were saucy and made the ladies blush and bashfully study the floor. The horns that drowned Oliver's words announced a subtlety. The subtleties were cunningly fashioned from sugar and almond paste, and were one of the delicacies that ended each of the 4 courses. They were goodly sweet to taste, though they did not look like food at all. One was moulded as a hunting scene, and another as a mythic beast, but my favourite was the one that looked like a great ship tossed at sea. After the fanfare I remembered no more, for this was when, or so I am told, I sickened and fell headlong to the floor. August 9th, Thursday. Because I am still weak, and do not mend as quickly as my aunt would wish, my uncle has sent Simon to fetch a physician from Middlethorpe. This town is but an hour's ride from Saddleborough, though my uncle said that he doubts I am dying. Simon need not rush to return before tomorrow. August 10th, Friday. The physician arrived today. Leech he is called, and the name describes him well, for he is round and sleek, and I like him not. First he had me relieve myself into a glass flask so he could study my water. He held it up to the window to judge the color, and then brought it to his nose. I guessed he would drink from it next, but instead he set it down on the table. Then he took from his purse a folded piece of parchment, and opening it, studied its mysterious signs and marks with great care. He asked when the sickness began, and for the day, hour, and place of my birth. From another chart he worked out how stood the stars when I sickened, for this also affects his choice of cure. Then he announced, "The boy is melancholic, and earth fights fire for control of his body." This surprised me not a little, for I had thought it was the surfeit of food and ale I had swallowed at the banquet that ailed my gut. Finally he added that I should be bled, but as this was not a favourable time for such a task, he would return, if needed, in a few days. August 12th, the Lord's Day. Still I am confined to my bed in the great chamber. When I tried to rise this morning, the room swung so wildly about me that I felt sick to my stomach again, and my aunt straightway made me lie back down. Today my aunt received a visitor. This woman, who is called Lady Cicely, is my aunt's friend and lives in the neighbouring manor of Littlethorpe. She brought with her a younger sister, Jane. Together the 4 women whiled away the day in working at their needlepoint and playing chess and bagman. Mostly, though, they gossiped of the banquet and of the noble knights they knew. Later Jane and Isabel tried to teach me backgammon, but my brain was too muddled to make much sense of it. When they went to eat in the hall, Mark sneaked in to see how I did, which cheered me greatly. August 13th, Monday. Dr. Leech came again today, and after much peering and prodding, he declared once more I must be bled, to release the ill humours or fluids that are in my body. Grasping hold of my arm, he straightway chose a vein, and opened it with a knife. He told my aunt that this would let out the black bile, of which I have too much, and that, as the moon is nearly full, this is a good time for bloodletting. At length the leech bandaged up my arm, and taking out a piece of parchment, wrote the letters of my name on it. Then he gave each of the letters a number, summed them all together, and announced, "The boy shall live." At this my aunt near swooned with joy, and paid the fat doctor well for his work. But I feel sicker than ever, and my arm hurts abominably. August 16th, Thursday. Today I am much mended, though my arm still pains me not a little. I cannot think how bleeding someone helps to cure them. 'Tis my belief I am recovered, in spite of Dr. Leech's treatment rather than because of it.